Yo! What up? What's going on, guys? We're here, back on Treading Water. I'm Travis Grant, and Mr. Hugh Murray is absent. But you got me, we got Tony, we got Beezy, and we also have another guest for you guys. This guy, I've had the pleasure of hanging out with him over the last year or so. This guy's great. He's a playwright, and he's a musician. He's a playwright and he's a musician. He plays the drums. He's fucking sick at both things. I actually went to go see his play, and it was fantastic. And he's got some things in the works, and I want them to come by and talk about it. And he's a dope dude. Guys, give it up right now for Mr. Chris Gacinski.
There you go, dude. What's going on? How we doing?
What up, dude?
Not much, man. It's always a pleasure when I get to talk to Travis. You can be about literally anything. It's always a vibe.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you coming on today. For realsies. For realsy wheelsies.
Dan, nah, man, it was great. It's like 15 minutes from my house, bro. It was chill, and now we just get to talk some stuff for a good hour, man.
What about you got tea in your cup right now?
I always got tea in my cup.
We were literally just talking about, so this Kratom tea has become a staple in my life. And when I say staple, I mean more like a glue in my life. Where if I don't have this, I'm coming undone. Like, I'm not together. My day, like, I can go on with my day without Kratom, but, like, I'm going to be, like, real gloomy about it.
Yeah.
It's going to be bad.
Yeah, there's, like, so, like, with Kratom, the more you do, the more reliant that you become on it. Like, there was a point where I was doing probably close to, like, an ounce of Kratom a day.
An ounce?
Yeah.
So that's not bad.
It's like 64 ounces. Like
a growler.
Yeah, like a whole growler.
Oh, growler. Oh, okay. Oh, dude, I'm like 2-3 growlers a day.
Dude, yeah, nah. Like I like basically like I just felt so lethargic when I didn't drink it.
Dude, it's really bad.
Like I had to. Yeah, basically you just gotta wean yourself off. It's just like lowering your dose over time. That's how I did it.
Someone was saying that it lowers testosterone. How? I don't think that's true.
Oh, it kills the shit out of my libido.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm fine.
I mean, yeah, I think it's dependent on the person, but
Yeah.
when I notice when I drink a lot of Kratom, like, you get it up, but nothing's coming out of it for a really long time.
Okay, so that would be, yeah, I guess. Okay, so then that's definitely a thing of mine. Like, I definitely last way longer in bed now.
Oh no, you can get it up fine, but it's just like.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought you meant. It would be trouble getting it up.
Nah, you know, not really. I think it's like mainly like when I have Kratom, like 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm the last few times was definitely a little over an hour, which is like not like usually I'm like half hour.
Yeah.
20 minutes. You know, like that's usually my time frame. Last few times was a fucking hour, like a solid hour.
Yeah, it takes a lot longer. But at the same time, it just prolongs the experience in a way. And then what I've noticed too is if the next morning, so fast, bro.
Really?
So fast. Yeah.
Like when you're like the girl stayed over and then you're like, hey, let's get one more in.
Yeah.
And then bam.
5 minutes. Yeah.
Dude, I used to get so embarrassed when I was like in college. So like I was in a relationship in college and I was like 19, 20 and I was so young and I had so much testosterone. I think still to this day I have a high level of testosterone for just like a 33-year-old man. But I think back then, like I was 20 and I could not last longer than like 2 minutes, dude.
Yeah.
I would just explode. And I was young, so I didn't know what I was doing. So I would just go into it hard. And, dude, it ruined an entire relationship. Dude.
Are you serious, bro?
It ruined an entire relationship. The chick was like she would just be mad all the time. And I'm just like, damn it, why do you gotta be so fucking mad? Like, why can't you just be a cool girlfriend? She's like, it's like I'm not getting fucked out here, all right? I get fucked for 2 minutes and I'm constantly like, just, I want something back in return and I never get it. And that's why she was mad. And looking back now, like, yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I get it.
Man, just pop a few rhinos. Just go to 7-Eleven. It's like $6. You pop 3 of those rhinos, dude.
I think those would make you come quicker, though.
I don't know, dude. Like, honestly, like I've been like my favorite form of content recently are those like entrepreneurial guys that pretend like they have a shit ton of money,
Oh, okay,
but they
okay.
don't. That's like my favorite kind of content now. And then they just like try to like make everything super hyper masculine to a point where it's not believable for them.
I remember what I was doing, because obviously she was like, okay, like there's got to be some type of supplement out here that can help you with your situation, that makes you better. And so we went to a GNC and we just like did some light looking up, and we found out that like this stuff Tribulus could help. Tribulus. So any supplement that had Tribulus in it could help. And what happened, Tribulus I think was just made for guys who couldn't get it up, so it made me even more like soft and vulnerable, like to just coming quick.
Oh, dude, yeah, no, you take actually, no, I remember modified football, dude, this kid took a Viagra.
Oh, God,
he took a Viagra the night before, and he just kept telling everyone how he, like, as soon as he took it, he just started coming.
Just like you're sitting there, just like, hey, oh, God.
And like this was probably like 7th, 8th grade, so like they probably just discovered the act of like actually doing that. It must have been
This is some dude like aggressively coming in the back of class. oh God. I'd be sitting next to the guy like, what the fuck is going on with you, man?
Actually, have you ever been in a class where someone was watching porn before and then got caught?
No. So when I went to high school, flip phones were a thing. So like smartphones weren't a thing. So like, which is hilarious that you bring that up, because that's definitely a thing now.
Bro, I shit you not. So freshman year of college,
Oh,
in my
boy.
history class, this guy, like, he was an old dude. He's been teaching at that university for like 2 decades, right? And he was just like, on the first day, he was just like, I don't want you guys to have laptops in this classroom. And he went into the story about this kid who watched porn in class on his laptop.
Damn.
But didn't plug in his headphones with the volume on.
Wow. What a fucking, that's a boss move. Like I'm watching porn.
What are you gonna do about it, dude?
Was it like in one of those big lecture classes?
No, this was like maybe a 30-person classroom at most.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Dude, that guy doesn't give a fuck.
I mean, he probably gave a fuck at some point, but like, I just realized that's like the power move. Now, if you're in a class and you just want to leave, just like watch porn and turn on the volume and just stare your professor down while you do it.
Go to the bathroom or something. I remember when I was in middle school, I wanked one out in the bathroom. I was like in 8th grade. Because that's when like it all starts hitting you and it's like so intense. Like that's like when like those sexual feelings really just start coursing through your veins. And it's just like so much that like you don't even know what to do with it. And I was just like, dude, it's brimming at the top right now. And I need to go in the bathroom and wank one out.
Train the snake, brother.
And I did. I was like 14.
Dude.
I was like jerking off in the bathroom, dude. Like, and I didn't want to like, I thought it would bring more attention to me if I was in a sit down stall. Because remember like when you were growing up and you were in school, if someone was in the stall, someone would be like, look, he's taking his shit. And then someone would fuck with the people in the stalls.
Yeah.
So like, I didn't want that. So I was like, I'm just going to stand up at the stand-up urinals and just fucking wank it, dude. And that's what I did.
No shame, bro.
So I don't even know how no one came in. I'm guessing I don't remember all the way how quick it was, but I'm guessing it was pretty quick. Because I mean, like, I knew I had to make haste, you know?
Like, how were the bathrooms in your high school?
I was middle school. The high school, I think they're all like different. I mean, they're all like a different layout. But for the most part, you walked in the stall, you hit the stalls first on the right, and then you kept walking in, and then there was like the stand-up urinals.
Bro, for like a solid month in high school, there was like basically you couldn't go into a bathroom on my high school campus without it being vandalized. It was crazy.
Yeah, people would vandalize the bathrooms.
Dude, they would just like empty the soap dispenser and just like rush like empty the soap dispenser into the sinks and just like flood it, and then like rub that shit on the fucking on the glass so it stains. They're, like carving dicks into the paper towel dispensers and shit like that, dude.
Dude, people. I remember me and my friend. We would take up. I think we talked about this on the on the last episode or one of the last episodes. We would take all these paper towels, like like take like half the roll, and wad them up and put them up under the sink and make a big wet paper towel ball and just huck them at the wall and just be like, doof. And there would be these big like wads of toilet paper and paper towel like stuck on the wall. They were huge. There was like 6 of them. Like looking back now, janitor's probably like, you're a fucking asshole.
The times have changed, man. It goes from paper towel balls to like kids vaping in the bathrooms now, in like high schools and shit like that.
I remember one girl. She wasn't like cool or anything either. You know, because like when someone gets in real trouble, you're like, oh, so and so did this. Or, who is it? Like you find out who it is.
Yeah.
And it was like this random ass girl. Like she wasn't like cool. Like you could tell if a cool person did something fucked up. You're like, oh, he was doing it to be funny in front of the cool kids. Like you know what I mean? Like you could see why he did it. But like this person was just like a loner, and she started a fire in the bathroom. And we were like, who did it? And like, oh, so and so. And we were like, that girl. That girl started a fire in the bathroom. And she was like, yeah. And then like I remember like I saw her. I was like, you started a fire in the bathroom? She's like, yeah. I was like, why? She's like, just wanted to. I was like, that's someone who has some deep receded, you know,
or grew up in Florida.
Or grew up in Florida.
That's some Florida type shit, dude.
That's a Jacksonville move.
That dude, or even in Fort Lauderdale, dude. I remember there was this homeless person who came up to the Cava bar that I was working at, and basically he was just like, "Can I light a fire out here? It's really cold." Because there's a fire pit.
Yeah.
So he just started a fire, and the bartender almost got into a fist fight with him.
Dude, it's so insane how much Florida is just like a country of its own. Because it's not the South. I don't feel like I'm in the South when I'm in Florida. I feel like I'm in like fucking I don't know, like a Snake Plissken Escape from New York, like post-apocalyptic land. That's like what I feel like, honestly.
Like South Florida, what's funny about Florida is the further south you go, the more north it feels.
Yes.
So like Miami feels like New York City.
Yeah.
But like basically if you go to like, you know, like some random off town in like Lee County, it's basically like going to like the most rural areas of the country.
Yeah, like Tampa's pretty. You would think Tampa would be more like
Tampa's great now, dude.
Tampa, you can see like there's north, but there's also parts of Tampa that you're like, okay.
Ybor City, yeah.
Ybor City, you feel like you're in Cuba.
Which is like honestly, I don't mind that, but
I don't either.
I just don't feel exceptionally safe at the train stations.
No,
it's not the safest place I think I've ever been.
I don't feel safe in anywhere in Ybor City.
But like that's even like in downtown Tampa, like I feel pretty. Even actually, no, I can't even say that because like downtown Tampa can have a little skeeviness to it. There's some sketch people walking around always in Florida.
When like whatever a few years ago I was on tour, and we were driving through Gainesville. I didn't have a show in Gainesville, but we were driving there, and then we stopped, and it was just like, dude, fucking Gainesville, this is fucking Florida right here. I want to check out Tallahassee. I feel like that'd be a fun place.
Tallahassee is really fun.
Yeah. Is that college town?
Yeah. Same.
Okay.
So I get Gainesville technically is one too.
Okay.
Yeah, like all these big cities in Florida have a big university there.
They love football.
They love football.
They're so much better at football than us. The South,
because they have to wear pads in like 90-degree, 100% humidity in like the middle of August. They're doing drills. They're
just like bigger boys. They're just like, it's football. It's just a bigger part of their life.
Yeah, dude. That's when you know someone says football instead of football, you know they're into it and they're serious.
We got the East. East has wrestling. We're really good wrestlers.
Oh yeah, New York State has like that was what my high school was known for. Is just really good wrestlers.
Long Island, Pennsylvania has fucking New Jersey. Those are solid wrestling strongholds.
But I've never seen as many jiu-jitsu places in my life than Long Island.
Jiu-jitsu is blown the fuck up, dude. A lot. Like a lot. More than I thought I'd ever see it.
Yeah, like how long have you been doing it for?
Coming up on 12 years.
Damn, dude.
So I started when it was like my 20th birthday gift to myself. I signed up. But I remember when I signed up, because I always wrestled, and then I wrestled a little bit in college, and then I stopped wrestling in college because it was just fucking too hard. I was like, this is ridiculous, dude. Dude, there be some practices I remember going to practice, even like at a club college wrestling level. Like, the only difference between club college is like okay, like you don't have to do the team runs, the team lifts. You don't have to maintain a grade point average, but like the practices are still like, no, this is fucking wrestling. And it's, I remember going to practice sometimes and just like, dude, like, what are we going to what are we going to fucking Iraq? Like, what is going on here, dude? What are we preparing for? This is insane. But yeah, no, I remember when I always wrestled, but I wanted to start jujitsu like since I was like 9th grade. That was like 2005. So like, I just remember always like checking up on the sport, like checking in on jiu-jitsu, like what's jiu-jitsu about? I was curious about it for years. And I just remember always looking at it like, what even is this? It's strange. It's like all the people who do it are weird, and it's like no one really knows anything about it. People are like, UFC's becoming big, right? It's like UFC. And like no one really knew what it was. And then I started it, and it was still kind of like that. I wouldn't say jiu-jitsu started blowing up. I wouldn't say it started blowing up until, I don't know, like probably like 2016. It would be my guess is when it started, like, because Gordon Ryan got into it, and Gordon Ryan like made it cool, like Gary Tonin made it cool, Craig Jones made it cool, Nicky Rod, Joey Rod, those guys make it cool, like, you know, they're cool looking dudes. They just, I don't know, they just bring a certain, they Americanized it. I think that's what happened. Like when I first got to it, it was Americanized, but it was for sure like a Brazilian thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was like the Brazilian influence was like way more than it is now. Now it's now like American Jiu-Jitsu is like its own fucking thing. I mean the moves are completely different. Like you know what I mean? Like the leg lock system is like people could just go out. I don't mean to bash people, but people could just go out and not necessarily be athletic wrestlers, but be fucking smart leg technicians and just like enter in on a saddle and just start picking your heels and just start peeling calves and just like start opening you up in the lower half of your body. And you're like, what in the fuck is going on here? You know? And if you think you're just going to go in there and just wrestle fuck someone against a real swift, crafty leg technician, I don't think that's going to work, Pop. I think you're going to get hurt.
You could get fucking stretched.
Yeah, someone could just heel hook you and rip your entire ACL out. Once he's down there and he's got the heel hook, you better hope he's nice. Because let me tell you something, there's not a lot of nice guys.
Yeah, I've seen some of the fights. Like there are people that actually like legit try to look like they're gonna break you, like legit.
Yeah, let me take that back. There are some nice guys. There are a good amount of nice guys, but I do know some guys who genuinely like love hurting people, and they're just like, yeah, you fucking came into my world, I'm taking you out, and it's just like, I don't roll with those guys because I'm like, why I gotta be on stage? Like I'm not gonna hobble because you fucking blew my knee out. You know what I mean? But there's some people, man. And the one thing is like, I feel like not all the time, but I have seen more times than I can count on one hand. A person who, let's say high school, college, he didn't play sports. He wasn't really that cool growing up. Maybe he had a rough time. Now he's 25. He starts jiu-jitsu. He's been doing it for 10 years. Now he's 35. So now he's like a black belt, and he has his chip on his shoulder about all people that were athletic and stuff, and maybe he sees them as the people that picked on him, and he's like, oh, now I'm gonna fucking rip you apart. And like that happens sometimes. It does. I've seen that a bunch of times.
Like, have you ever like done a card where it was just like you were up against someone that you knew was like that, and like
I don't think I ever went in a tournament. I don't think I ever went against something like that, but I've definitely trained with people who are like that, for sure.
Well, do they go just as hard in training as they do like during a tournament? I'm assuming.
Oh yeah. Once you're actually competing, that all notches go up to 10, because now it's like, you know, you're trying to bring home the gold medal. Depending, even at like a local tournament, you know what I mean? That like doesn't mean anything, you know, like as far as rankings would go. You know, like say, oh, I won a Naga tournament. Like, I don't know if that really helps your like rankings as far. So like the main tournaments are like the big ones that matter are like anything that's an IBJJF tournament. Those help your rankings as a jiu-jitsu fighter. If you win those, if you place in those, then they have, you know, all local tournaments like a Grappling Industries, Naga, but like by no means should you look at those local tournaments like, this is going to be a walk in the park. No way. You know what I mean? Because a real competitor uses these smaller local tournaments as like competition practice.
This
you know
literally
what I mean?
sounds like stand-up comedy too.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean,
not like breaking people, but like in the sense where it's like to practice your craft, you have to go out there and actually do it with others.
So I always say this. I always say that comedy and jiu-jitsu on paper are exactly the same. Like exactly, like scary similar. They're just like how you handle a win, how you handle a loss, your endless preparation. Just, like the way you just kind of keep your head on your shoulders and just, like everything. And then I would say the only difference is at the end of the day, one, you're going off and telling people jokes, and one, you're going off and fucking beating somebody up. You know, like that's the difference.
And now it's just like if someone wants to beat you up after your comedy set, you do jujitsu.
Oh,
so it's over.
Yeah, if someone were to hop on stage with me, there was one time, I'm not going to name the club. It was a while ago. And so I had a show on a Monday. So we're all at this girl Sam's house getting drunk for football Sunday. And I got an email from the booker. He's the guy running the show. And he's like, hey, you ready for tonight? And I was like, well, tomorrow. He's like, no, the show's tonight. And I'm like, fuck. Like, I was like only a year into comedy. I was so drunk. And I'm like, dude, I can't perform. I'm so fucking wasted right now. So I'm at this party, and I'm looking up the next train to the city. I find someone with Coke at the party. I'm like, listen, I need to find Coke. I need to wake up. So I buy like 100 sack. And I go on the next train to the city. I'm in the train. I'm shoveling Coke into my face, just trying to wake the fuck up. I get to the place. I get to the show. Now I've done too much Coke. Like, you ever do too much Coke too fast, and then you're like, and you can't speak? So I'm like, oh, this is bad. I really can't perform now. The guy's like, hey, you're up first. I'm like, fuck. So I go up and I'm just eating fucking dick. I'm just bombing, like really bad. This guy in the back is like, he's just chirping at me. And I just didn't have a brain to even come back at him. And I was like, this is what you like doing? You like going to a show on a Sunday, fucking with people? And he gets up and he's like a fucking stacked dude. And he gets on stage and he grabs me like that. And I pushed him. And he got his feet, but he like definitely stumbled off stage and like knocked a bunch of shit over. And like some people laughed at him. Then he got on stage again and I fucking double legged him like off the stage. Like broke the table, the chairs. Everyone's like, oh my God. And then so like we get pulled apart. They take him out. I get back on stage and I'm like, all right, guys, that's been my time. Travis Grant, see you later. And then I left. I went back home. I didn't even go back to the party. I just went back home and I didn't go back to that club for like 7 years after that.
Jesus.
Yeah. Luckily, no one saw me. No one remembered it. Thank God. But I remember like, it was like, yeah, but it definitely, for me to say jiu-jitsu doesn't make you feel safe, it for sure does.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, okay, brother, let's see what you got. What's going on? Because if you're just used to like rolling with black belts and brown belts and like people who are actually competing seriously, even if they kick your ass, I mean, it's like that's the level of combat that I'm used to performing at. There's just some fucking muscle beefhead who, I don't know, works at JCPenney's and he's just like, hey, what about me and you? Like, dude, you're not even gonna come close. I'm gonna get your back quick. And I have a fucked up hip and I'll still get your back quick. Like, stop it. You're an idiot. I can't even imagine if you were like a Muay Thai guy, that's another deadly martial art. Those guys, God help the man who gets into a bar fight with someone who's like a top crown Muay Thai fighter. Because you're going to know real quick. The second he just starts, if he has that like diagonal stance, you're just like, oh no, dude.
Like, what did I do?
And then he's going to whip a kick right above your knee and you're going to be like, what in the fuck was that, dude? You're going to like immediately. Getting a kick mid-thigh is like earth-shattering. It just like, it shakes your soul. You're like, oh!
It's a very tender spot, dude.
That, or when it like wraps around the back of your thigh. Oh my God, dude.
I got drilled by a baseball on my inner thigh when I was catching in Little League, dude.
Yeah.
One of the most painful things that happened to me during my whole entire time playing baseball.
That happens in lacrosse a lot too.
What I realized today about lacrosse is like when you guys hit in lacrosse, like it's literally hitting someone with your stick. It's not really hitting with pads.
So you're not allowed to cross check. You're not allowed to do that. but I think you can do that. I'm not as much of a lacrosse player as I am a wrestler. You know, I only played like 1 year, whatever, for 2 years, whatever the fuck it was. But yeah, you can't. I remember you couldn't like line somebody the fuck up. Like you couldn't run from like the complete opposite end of the field and fucking take someone out. I don't think. But you could put your fist together, boom, or shoulder check. You know what I mean? That's or you could, because you're always like this. You know, there's a guy he would call it like the bull dodge, and he would be trying to get into the crease with the ball, and he was like a short, like stocky dude, and he would bring the ball here, so obviously you couldn't get it, and he would just lower his shoulder like under your rib cage, and just like run you over, and then he's in the crease, and he could just cannon a ball if he was like close to you. That's why I always looked at like lacrosse goalies, like they're not like hockey goalies. They're not wearing like head to toe in pads. They only got this going on. Other than that, you're just wearing shorts. Like, dude, what? People are just rifling balls at you, and you're just wearing mesh shorts. Fuck, dude, that sucks. You're out of your mind.
I couldn't imagine that, dude.
Yeah, this fucking that's crazy.
Yeah, that's honestly like, that was like one thing too that I didn't realize too, is like a lot of baseball players beef with lacrosse players.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like I guess it's because like the sports are played at the same time of the year, and I guess that ticks people off. But like, I don't get it, man.
You can't play when it's nice out. I'm playing when it's nice out.
Exactly.
I remember baseball was. I feel like they were the coolest athletes, like to hang out with.
Oh,
they were the most fun to hang out with. Them and lacrosse players, honestly. But like, lacrosse players had this like, you know, you're not lacrosse, and you know. But baseball players, they were just fun dudes. Even later in life, as we're adults now, you know, you're entering the professional world of jobs, and I'm talking to someone I really like him, and then I'm starting to find out more about him. Like, yeah, I played baseball in college, and I'm like, they all play baseball.
Yeah, they're
all fucking cool, chill dudes. I mean, you could spit tobacco while you play the sport. Like,
yeah, dude.
So they're like guys. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of them are.
The quintessential man.
Yeah.
They just have everything personality-wise is just like...
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you got to be on that field for 3.5 hours to play 9 innings of baseball, like that takes a lot. That takes a lot. Not really physically, but mentally, yeah.
Yeah. Baseball's, like, I would say this is the funnest sport, too. Baseball, I mean, like, I'm terrible at it. But, like, if I was... Like, I look at it, I'm like, damn, I wish I could play that. Like, that sounds like... that looks like a good... fun sport. Like, wrestling was not fun. Wrestling was never fun. If you think wrestling's fun, fuck you.
It's the competitive nature.
Because anybody, like, anytime, okay, going back to going out in the world as an adult now, I can always tell a wrestler, like a real solid wrestler, because they're strange. They're weird. They're just like, hey, what's going on? Just like they just work this weird job. And you're like, you like doing that? Yeah. Oh, what movies you like? I don't really watch TV. And you're like, huh? Well, what kind of music do you like? I like, like old, I like the oldies, like 70s music. You're like, nothing more, just like weird shit like that. And you're like, you wrestle? Like, yeah, I was actually an all-state champion. I'm like, oh, fucking course you were. Because you're fucking weird. You're a weird guy. But let me tell you something. Those are some of the toughest people on the planet.
Oh, 100%.
Those are some of the toughest people on the planet.
And also, I just realized, too, like, with stand-up comedy, you're probably really good at judging someone, too. Like Chris Rock, I think, has a quote where it's like, if you tell a little bit about yourself to a comedian, they can tell you more things about you.
Yeah, because that's... I do think it's a talent that you're born with, just like Abe. I mean, I sound like a fucking tool bag saying this, but I do believe it's a talent that you're born with to be just, like, more open and observant to things and people and just ways of life and, like, just all-around sociology. But, obviously, if you keep doing stand-up for years and years and years, you're fine-tuning that skill. So, I've been doing it for 9 years now. So, like, I've been fine-tuning this skill for 9 years of just, like, meeting people, learning about them. And I find that shit interesting. I've always loved looking into people's lives and, like, trying to see what makes them tick. Not even for the purpose of making jokes. Just I'm genuinely interested in it. And I think it's, like, cool.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're delivering the emotion that we all kind of long for. It's just a laugh, Like,
yeah,
making someone laugh is a great feeling.
It's a great skill. It's a great skill to have. I feel like it's it'll you'll keep a job. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
I've worked a lot of jobs, real people jobs, like that medical job I always fucking talk about where I was just on coke all the time and the doctors knew I was on coke, that they knew. But I was a funny guy and, you know, I made people laugh and I made people, you know, because when you're working, like, you know, doctors and nurses, they're working there for like, they're like the hardest workers on the planet.
Yeah, they're there for like 2-3 days.
Yeah,
straight.
like a lot. Some of them sleep there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, that job sucks. And they're just like, you know, and then I come around and then I just kind of take everybody's mind off it for like a few hours because I'm just a fun, good time to be around. You know, I'm making everyone laugh. And it's like, is he doing that much? No, he's just pressing buttons. He knows what he's doing. So just keep him around. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I've kept jobs because I was funny. You're also, I don't know, just like also like you ever be in like a family party or like one of your girlfriends, you're meeting her family for the first time, you're at this weird dinner party, being funny helps you in that too. Like, oh, we like that guy. Bring him around more often. Definitely helps you out with women for sure. Women love a funny guy. It's just a great skill to know. You know what I mean? Definitely helps you, makes life easier.
100%.
Yeah. Like if I had to do this life over again, I would be like, if you can only give me one thing, make me funny. Make me funny for sure.
Yeah, no, like for like keeping a job because you're funny. Like you need like in a depressing environment, you need a morale booster. You need someone there that's just gonna lift the spirits.
Oh sure, absolutely.
Or it's the hospital. I think the hospital before, like when you left, it punctured a hole in that boat, and now it's probably the most miserable place on earth to work at now.
It's like, wait, is Travis gone? You know, I haven't seen Travis. I quit.
This place sucks now.
This place fucking sucks. I didn't realize how much this place fucking sucked, Dick. I'm leaving. I fucking can't stand this dump.
Who would even work at a hospital anyways? It's for narcs.
Dude, there was a guy. What the fuck was his name? I probably shouldn't say his name. I can't even remember his name. But it was a hospital because I would work all over. I would work all over, like mostly New York, and then we had like 2 hospitals in Connecticut, some in Jersey. I was all over the place. I was driving this big Sprinter van around with all these medical equipment, and I would do the cases, whatever. And it was this one place in Connecticut, and the doctor was like such a bro, older man, but like a real bro. And I was like, dude, I would go, like sometimes I'd be stationed there for like 2 days, and I'd have to get a hotel and be back there early the next day. And he'd be like, what are you doing? You want to get some drinks in town? I'm like, well, I mean, I'm working with you tomorrow at like 6:30. He's like, who cares? It's only this. And I would like, meet out with him, and he'd be like, showing me like naked pictures of chicks. Like, you got to see this chick. And I was like, really? And it just like, it blew my mind because I had never seen behind the curtain of that world before. You know what I mean? I blew my, like, because before you work in medical, you just look at doctors like they're the end all be all knowing person. They're like robots essentially, like I didn't look at doctors as people. I just looked at them as like this super smart guy who always made the right decision. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying they're not, but this guy, it was like, oh, you're like a fucking cool dude. Like you're looking at naked chicks and drinking beers, even though you got to be up early. Like you didn't give a shit. And he's like, maybe. And I was like, what a fucking cool guy. And I loved working with him. He was the fucking best. If I had to hang out with one of those doctors, I mean, I worked with many doctors, I would hang out with him and this guy in Jersey, who were like, the guy in Jersey was a surfer, and he was like a fucking cool dude too.
Oh, that's super chill.
Yeah, and I was like, it's just like I didn't even know you could be a doctor and a surfer at the same time in one life.
I mean, they both require you to get up early in a way.
Yeah,
so
yeah, very true.
You have that. You can do surfing if you have to wake up at 5 a.m. to go to work.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. I guess you could like, if you had like an 8 a.m., if you had like a 10 a.m. case, you could wake up at 5, just do a little surfing, and fucking, honestly, I don't think that guy cares if he went to work smelling like beach and shit.
Nah.
I don't think he was a really cool dude.
Because realistically, that's probably part of his allure.
Yeah.
It's just smelling like the ocean.
He had gorgeous eyes. I remember he had like these long hair with like highlights. I was like, this guy definitely crushes chicks. He's a good looking dude.
Oh, and he's a doctor?
Yeah, he was out of shape, but like you could tell, like, oh, this guy at one point in time was a real looker.
Man, I'd take him now. Are you serious?
Yeah, and he's a doctor.
It's free health care, dude.
Dude, if you're a doctor, chicks are. That's gotta be, because now I'm on the side right now where like I'm not successful, I don't have money, and that's like almost the kill zone for me with chicks. They're like, oh, you're a comedian. Like, chicks will fuck a comedian. They won't be with a comedian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get it. I understand. I'm not hating on him for it. Like, that makes sense. But if imagine like you were a doctor, dude, chicks would be like, oh my, I don't even care what else you are. You're a doctor. Yeah. I'll marry you now. Like, you're a doctor. I'll move in tomorrow.
Yeah. Buy me the ring.
Yeah. Buy me the ring. I'll move in tomorrow. You're making fucking loads of cash, and you're smart. You know what I mean? You're worldly. Like, that's what chicks are looking for over the age of like 26.
And you have access to a prescription book that you could write yourself out whatever you wanted.
Get her hooked on drugs.
Yeah, it'd be like, but wait, before you go to work, I just need that pad and the pen real fast. And
like, I'll be all for it. Like, oh, nice, man. Like, you hooking up with chicks, and you're a doctor. You give them money. He's like, yeah, and I get them hooked on drugs. I'd be like, wait, what? I feel like I'm sold up. He's like, you don't tell me how. I'm the doctor. I live my life how I want. I'd be like, all right, yeah, whatever, man.
I mean, is it kind of like police tickets where it's just like you have to give out a certain amount per month, right? Where you just got to give out 90 prescriptions per month.
I'd imagine if you gave more, actually, I don't know. Well, now there's like the opium, not opium, fucking the epidemic with painkillers and opioids, and I'd imagine now there. I remember like back in 2006, my dad had a surgery, and they were just throwing him Vicodins. Like, and my dad's one of those like very mentally strong guys. Like, he quit cigarettes cold turkey like day of, and I was like, I don't think that's how that works. And he's like, it is with me. And I was like, okay. And then Vicodins got him, dude, and they were just feeding him. He could be like, let me give you 300. They're like 300, like easy. Yeah, and they don't do that anymore. Clearly.
There used to be, there used to be like these clinics all over Florida where you could just go in and they just hand you a prescription for whatever you wanted.
Yeah. Florida, you can just get them at Applebee's.
Dude, yeah.
Like, it's, I remember when I did have that hip surgery, they gave me like a small dose of hydros, or oxys. And yeah, like they were like the 10 milligram ones, like not powerful at all. But soon enough, I was crushing them up with Coke in one line and just taking them. And dude, let me tell you something. It feels like you're being tucked into a warm sock. And I was like, oh no, these are good. These are bad.
They're so good, they're bad.
These are bad. These are, because like I'm not a painkiller guy. I'm not a downer guy in any sense of the matter. But like, I started to become that, and my dad ripped the pills away. He's like, you just have to deal with the pain from now on. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll deal with the pain. I don't care.
Yeah, my buddy took a couple of hydros when he was on a cruise. And when he was on the boat, he was just like talking about how he could feel himself like connecting with the ocean. Oh. And then he wanted to actually connect with the ocean, aka jump off the boat.
Oh, you do that, you're dead.
On hydros, dude? Yeah, you're not going to swim.
Because it takes them, I was just having this conversation with someone, it takes them so long to turn the boat around and get back to you that if you jumped off in the middle of the ocean, by the time they got back to you, it's a wrap. You're done.
Unless you're like a really strong swimmer.
Yeah, you have to be like Olympic trials level of swimmer. Yeah, that's rough. Also, may get attacked by a shark. Fucking Jesus Christ.
Oh, that would be kind of crazy, dude.
Dude, you see the video? That guy who just got like mangled by a shark in Egypt?
Oh, I'm not surprised, dude.
Oh my God. It's like, I think if I had to fight an animal, I'd rather fight a cougar than a shark. Not saying I could beat a cougar, but I mean, a shark? I'm like out of my element.
Nah, you can honestly take the shark. Because the thing is with the cougar, like that's gonna tear you to shreds and it's fast. With a shark, they don't really have the best sight. They can sense their prey through these sensors that they have in their nose area. So essentially, if you just punch the shark right in the nose, it's gonna swim away. because you're punching it in an area where it can't sense where it is. So it's going to be scared.
I've heard that, but say that when a shark is attacking your thigh.
Oh no, that's it ain't gonna.
I'm not.
You gotta see it coming, dude.
I'm not just gonna be like, I trained for this. Like, I'm gonna be like, ah! Oh my god, dude, fuck that, dude.
No, there was a guy in Pensacola who was just like in like knee deep water, and a lemon shark came by and just ripped his calf right off. His whole calf, ripped right off his leg.
Oh wait, is that like, is it an old video?
Yeah.
Is it, he's like in knee deep, thigh deep water?
Yeah.
They play it on Shark Week every year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and now it's just like the tibia bone.
Basically.
Or I may be getting the bone wrong. The tibia, is that the shin bone?
The tibia is the small one underneath.
What's the Oh yeah, you would know.
The tibia is from the knee to the ankle. The tibia is the small one, and then
what's the big one? Is the fibula?
Fibula, yeah.
Fibula.
Yeah, and then above the knee is the femur.
Okay, so yeah, the femur's the thigh one. So he just has a fibula. I remember because they showed him in the interview. I'm like, hey, how's your life now? And he's like, not good. And he pulls his pants up and it's just a fibula. And I was like, holy Christ, dude, are you kidding me?
And those things, like the thing is, like you'll look at a lemon shark and you're like, oh, it looks harmless. And then you look up its jaws and you're like, I want that thing nowhere near me.
Yeah.
Like they don't look terrifying from a distance, but as soon as it comes up to you, you can see its teeth, bro. Jesus.
Excuse me. What was I gonna say? Like, I totally forgot what I was gonna say. Sharks, dude. I don't know. If I got attacked by a shark, and it drastically affected me like that, took my calf out. I don't have a calf anymore on my left leg. I just have a fibula. So what I hear a lot of people who get attacked by sharks. They're like, it gave me a new understanding of sharks. It gave me a new understanding of the ocean, and I respect it more. It's a majestical creature. I would go full Quinn from Jaws. I would give up comedy. I'd give up this podcast. I'd take Uber more seriously so I could save up enough money for a boat, and then I would endlessly go on an endless shark hunting spree, like slaughtering sharks. And then I've said this before, and a lot of people are just like, you piece of shit, like that's an animal, blah, 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 blah. I am a piece of shit for saying that. I'm sorry. But like, if you took my leg, I'm getting revenge. I'm sorry. I'm killing sharks. That's what I'm doing. Shark soup every night.
Shark fins, dude, that's a delicacy.
I heard it's great. It's fucked up what they do though, because they just cut them and then they just like throw them back.
They're
like
expecting it to live, bro.
Yeah, like kill the shark. Don't throw him. If you're gonna do it, if you must have shark fin soup, I mean, like, come on, it's soup. You can't just pick another soup. But if you must, kill the shark.
Yeah, do it humanely.
Don't put him on the boat, kill him, then take his fins, and then like do something else with then have like shark meat. You can eat shark meat. Don't cut his fins off and throw him back in the water. That's like a sick sadistic fuck thing to do.
That's some like mafia. That's like mafia type stuff, dude.
The shark's going to be swimming with the fishes.
He owes me some money.
The shark, he owes me some money. He owes me lobster money.
He owes me some of them sand dollars.
We've been talking about stuff. I wanted to get into it. You are a playwright.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's get into this. So you're a playwright, and I came to see one of your plays, and it was fantastic. It was great. I was happy I came. It was like a monologue play, essentially. And you casted such a great actor for it, too. He was fucking great.
Yeah, shout out Alejandro. If you ever watch this, dude, you're the man.
Dude, I was so engaged. I was like so engaged. And I wanted it to be a movie after. I was like, well, what's going to happen now? Like, this guy's in a fucking bind. I need to see if he gets through with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin it. You got to go see the play. What's the name of the play?
3 hours until departure.
3 hours until departure. And I was like, I got to see him at the airport. I got to see how this goes down. I was really, really engaged, man. That was really fucking fantastic. I didn't know you could write like that. And I don't mean that with disrespect. I was just like, I didn't think you could write like that. And I was like, oh shit. Dude, Chris.
Yeah, dude. You're next, bro. Dude, you got to get you on.
I would love to. I would love to. Even though my fucking acting coach won't post a damn thing that I do. I could win an Oscar. That guy would just be like, yeah, that's great. Yeah, whatever. I'm like, all right, cool, you fuckhead.
Be like, Travis Grant, don't know him. Never seen him.
Yeah, I don't even know him. It says here that he attended your class for several years. Nah,
who's that?
Nah.
I know everyone in my class.
Nah, I've actually never met a Travis ever in my life. I don't even know who that is. He's my friend's uncle, too. You'd think he'd be like, oh,
Travis,
you hang out with my nephew. Nope, not even. Nada. But you know what? You can't make everyone love you. What are you gonna do? Yeah. So when did you start getting into playwrights?
Oh, so
Like playwriting?
I did like backstage stuff for a production of Hamlet my freshman year of college, and that kind of got me interested into theater. I didn't really start writing plays until like the end of my sophomore year, early junior year of college.
Okay.
And then that's probably around the time I started, and I've been writing ever since, man. I just like how it's in the moment. There's no multiple takes. It's one take. It's really organic. And I don't know. I like just growing up in New York. I've always wanted like to see stuff on stage. So like getting to actually write stuff for other people to see on stage fills me with some joy. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome that you found that. It feels great when you find something that you're like, oh no, this is me. It's what I wanted to do for so long.
Exactly.
Did you go to school for it?
I went to school for English and theater.
Okay.
With a minor in music. So I went for basically like majors that would help me do it.
Okay.
But yeah, it was mainly like my own interest. If I wanted to do it more, I would need to start taking more classes again. Kind of like how there's acting classes, writing classes are a great way to learn new ideas about how to do the same things that, like, that's how I go into that too, where it's just like, I like pulling things where it helps me do something that I already know how to do, but in a different way. So I can have more mileage out of the same idea.
Okay.
Like, I'm very much about that for drums too. It's just like taking a single rudiment and just trying to find as many ways to phrase it. And every time that you phrase it, it's a different way of doing the same thing. So, and it all sounds different too. Same way with writing. It's the same idea, but I can make it sound 1,000 different ways.
Yeah.
And that's what I like too. It's just really liberating. And it's just like, you know, like me on my computer, just like whatever comes into my brain, just getting it down on paper.
So, what were you doing first? Music or play?
I started drumming in high school.
Okay.
So yeah, I was drumming for probably 4 years by the time I started playwriting. So I was already decently into drums. And I mainly wanted to do drums. I just was doing plays for fun until like I wrote like my first full length, and I was just like, I actually had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
So it's like now a part of my dream is to do both.
Yeah. I think you can do both if if you want to.
Got to manage my time in a way where it's like I'm not infringing on the other.
That's where it is. You got to be able to like manage your time and also compartmentalize to some degree, because like if you just try to just do everything all at once at the same time every day, you're gonna burn the fuck out. That's what I was doing like in my mid-20s, and it was a lot. And I think the only reason I had energy to do it was because I was in my mid-20s, and then I had a point where I was like, this is not sustainable. I only did it for like 3 years, and then I was like, you're gonna have to switch gears here. There needs to be some switching gears here. You can't just you just blow the engine out.
Yeah, no, I usually I do both. I try to do both every day. Usually I'll practice in the morning for an hour, and then I'll try to do some writing, submit my plays, stuff like that. And then if I want to do more practice, I'll do it later in the evening.
Yeah. You know what I like about music? And I don't think that any other art has this. I have to think about what I'm going to say right now because I don't want to sound like an idiot. But I like with music, so music, you could take one sound and elongate it, bend it, twist it. It's the same sound, but you can maneuver it to make it sound a completely different thing. And then you could take both of those sounds and branch off two things that are completely different. And then you're like, oh, I'm listening to two different songs right now. And you're like, at its base, it's not. At its base, it's not. Where I could, you can't do that with a joke. No. You can't do, a joke is like, okay, yeah, well, you were just talking about that. You just said it a little differently. Like the audience would know. Where like you could make two different songs all for the same sound, No one would even know. We'd be like, holy fuck.
It's like it's just finding a way to disguise it so it's not overtly noticeable.
Yeah.
So like basically how I would do that on drums is I would play the same rhythm, but I would just play it on different drums, and it sounds different. I'm using the same rhythm, but it's gonna sound different to you because I'm not playing the same phrasing I was for the other song. So you can get more mileage that way. But yeah, like that's like one thing that music has too, where it's like, yeah, you can build a whole song off of like one note.
Yeah.
For everything.
And you're a drummer.
Yeah, I'm a drummer.
Now, have you ever tried anything other than drumming?
I tried a little bit of piano. I like piano. It's kind of fun and soothing, even though I'm not very good at it. It's just nice to kind of just like create like chord progressions and just like vibe over those. I tried guitar. I'm really bad at it. I know one chord, and after I learned that one chord, and I was like, okay, that was really hard for a beginner chord. I'm gonna move on to bass, and I tried bass. I want to get better at it, but that's probably gonna be like the other instrument I end up picking up at some point is bass. But like, I'm mainly drums. Like I say this when I teach. Like I don't teach any other instrument. I just teach drums. I can play a little bit of piano, and I can mess around on bass, but I have no way to teach those to people. Like the instrument that I'm most confident with is drums for sure.
For sure. Are there different types of drum sets, or do you just add more drums to the set?
Yeah, so like there's a bunch of companies that make drums, and you can kind of do whatever you want. So like if you wanted to buy a kit from one company and a kit from another, you can use pieces from both. I usually like what you'll do is you'll think of the configuration you want. Like how many drums do you want? You want a 5-piece, 6-piece, 4-piece?
What's a normal, like 4?
4 or 5, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 or 5 is normal. Like a lot of what you're going to see for like metal stuff is going to be usually a 4-piece. Like,
really, metal's 4?
For Luke Holland more specifically uses a 4-piece.
Okay.
But like metal, like death metal and stuff like that, it's like 6.
I was going to say, because they're just...
Yeah, everything's very scrunched together. It's a lot of cymbals and drums very close together to be able to play those very fast fills.
I mean, they got double bass too,
which I'm very bad at too.
Really?
Yeah, I'm very bad at double bass.
Really?
I when I first started playing drums, I was a huge metalhead, and after like a year or two of playing, I convinced my mom at like 16 to buy me a double bass pedal, and like I would mess around with it, but like I never found like I really started making progress until I started using ankle weights.
Okay.
So like I would play double bass with like 5-pound ankle weights on and I would do my exercises, whatever. And I would see an improvement, but like after like a week and a half, I lost the ankle weights. So like there goes like my only way to actually practice, like the way I found to get better at this. I lost the key to the castle basically.
Damn.
So like I'm getting back into it now, but like yeah, that's like one of my biggest regrets was not like taking that more seriously.
Because because you know me, I like my metalcore.
Of course, yeah.
And now you would say that's probably more of like a 6 or 7 drum.
Metalcore?
8 maybe?
No, so metalcore, I've seen drummers use a 3-piece and a 4-piece. Like
really?
Yeah, like when Luke Holland was with The World Alive, I think he was only using a 4-piece. There was this guy actually like, I mean. Actually, I'm going to say more like a 5-piece because like a set I see a lot nowadays is the 2-floor toms. So it's like one on attached to the drum set and like 2 off to your right-hand side. That's what I see a lot for metalcore. Like the drummer for Under Oath uses it. Drummer for Wage War uses it. Drummer for Beartooth uses it.
Wage War, I love them.
Dude, I used to be like that. Used to be my gym music, man.
They're they're so sick.
Yeah, I had like 1 or 2 opportunities to see them. Was not able to. So because like the one song I've always wanted to hear live is The River.
Really? Oh, that's a fucking sick song, dude.
Yeah, dude.
That album is fucking sick.
That whole album was like a big part of my college years.
That was my first album that I found. I found them later. I didn't find them when they came. Like I want to say I found them like probably 2019, maybe even 2020.
I think I started listening. Yeah, I was probably like 2016, 2017 when I started listening to them. Yeah, because I know you're a big Ghost Inside guy.
I love the Ghost Inside.
Yeah, dude. That was like when I remember listening to. I always forget this album, but it has like so many good songs on it. Either way, like I would grind that album all the way through in high school. It has like 33 on it, and
their most recent one was so good. after the
After the bus crash, yeah,
after the
dude.
bus crash. I didn't even know about the bus crash. So it's pretty much the band Ghost Inside was in a horrific bus crash, and their drummer lost a leg, their band manager died, and like it was just like a detrimental thing to the band. I didn't even know. Another thing why I thought they just kind of dropped out, because with metalcore it's like you only have so many years in you before you're just not that angry of a person anymore. You're just not that like emotional of a person. There's a lot of emotion in metalcore. That's why I love it so much.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you get to 40, you're like, all right, life is what it is. And then you're just not going to scream about anything anymore. And I thought that's what happened. And my friend was like, no, they got into a massive bus accident. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then they came out with that album. And I was like, dude, I'm sure this album's going to have the most emotion I've ever heard in any album. And it was. And then they were in Massachusetts. And I was like, packed up the car. I went by myself. And I was like, all right, I'm going to Massachusetts. I got to see this. And it was amazing. It was so good.
Dude, I wish there are times where I wish I had that, where I was just like, oh, this band's going to be like 3.5 hours from my house. Let's just get in the car and just go.
Oh, I'll go.
Dude, I need to be like that more.
You know what it is? As a comedian, you drive a lot. So like a 3-hour drive isn't really much. It's like a 3-hour drive. Okay. Like I drove to Chicago. I drove to St. Augustine, Florida. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, that was like a full day. 3 hours. I'm like, I'll knock that out. That's the problem. It's easy.
So I can imagine you just taking the Jeep all the way down
I do.
the border.
It's a noisy ride.
I'm sure.
Because it's a rag top. It's a soft top. So it's just like, feels like you're in a jet engine.
Oh, when it rains in Florida, dude, and it rains for like hell for 5 minutes, dude.
Texas, too.
Texas is like that?
Texas is, and then lightning will come down from the heavens and crash upon the earth. Like, you'll see it like touch down on the earth. And I'm like, holy shit.
That's terrifying.
Dude. It's, because you're like, oh, dude, could that be here? And we're like, yeah, it could. And you're like, all right.
Apparently, like, you hear you can feel the ground shake under you when a lightning bolt's about to strike.
It's intense, dude. I mean, I've seen, when I was down there last, lightning just, boom, just like split a whole tree. Like a decently sized tree.
Jeez.
And I was like, what? I mean, it was so hot. It was 108 every day. So I was like, thank God it's raining. But then that happened. And I'm like, oh boy. And the place where we were performing had like a metal roof. And I was like, oh no.
Good
dude.
job projecting over that, dude.
I was like, fuck, dude. And they were like, oh, let's get some more speakers in here so we can get the mic louder. I was like, no more electric. We don't need to meet electric right now.
I mean, at least the barbecue probably like slayed.
Oh, it's like, it's not even that, and their Mexican food is like unparalleled,
Bro.
It's insane. I had this mango shrimp quesadilla. I was like, I don't even know what I'm eating right now. This is insane. So good.
Now I could go for a mango. That sounds great. I love mango.
It's hard to eat Mexican food. It's weird when you're over there and you're like, Chipotle. How does a Chipotle even exist here? I don't even get that.
That used to be like, I think it's still like gym food. Like you go there and just get like a ton of protein and carbs.
Oh,
like,
Chipotle?
Yeah, for like a cheaper after gym meal, I guess. That's like the only reason why I see they're open, man.
I guess it's just simple. Like, you know what you're getting. It's like a safe option. It's like, all right, whatever.
Nah, you gotta be adventurous. Like what people don't realize is if it's a hole in the wall, if the business is a total hole in the wall,
amazing.
The food is going to rock your socks off because they don't care about the interior. They're not spending money on the interior. No. They're spending all their money on the ingredients and spending all their time in the kitchen making the food great.
You could tell by like the quality of like what went into the actual dish itself. Like they took time to place everything right. I'm like, oh, they're giving a fuck back there.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing. It's, oh God, it was just, and like you could like their quesadilla, you could like throw it at the wall, it would stay intact. And I was like, not only is it good, it's well made. It's like, wow.
That's like the worst part about it, like eating a burrito or a quesadilla where it just like falls out.
I hate that shit.
I know, me too, man.
I hate eating messy foods that get my hands messy. And I'm like, now I just look like a fucking slob.
Yeah, if I wanted to eat it with a fork, I would have gotten a bowl, you know? Like,
I want to ask you something else. Has anything ever shooken your faith that you wanted to become a playwright?
Like anything that...
like something happened to you and you were just like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this my life.
Oh, dude, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know in comedy, it's... That's a lot.
I think it's for like every artist. Like you just have this feeling of impending dread of just like, what's happening to me?
Doesn't it suck, dude?
It sucks, man.
It sucks so much because you're like, you know what helps me? I arrive back to the fact, like, what else would you be doing? What else would you be honestly doing if you weren't an artist? If you weren't trying to be a working artist, what would you? And then, like, I have some answers, and I'm like, and how long would that go before you wanted to fucking absolutely kill yourself? And then I'm like, yeah, I guess this is the only road for you then.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
I would rather, like be happy and make less money than make more money and be miserable.
Dude, exactly. I know a lot of people who make decent amount of money, and they wake up every morning, they're like, fuck.
Another day.
I got to go back to doing this thing again. What was like, give me an example of something that happens as a playwright where you're like, fuck. Like, what's a negative in the playwright world?
You're going to hear a lot of no's. It's the nature of the beast, where it's kind of just like, it's not even like most of the time, it's not a skill thing. It's more of just what the company is looking to produce at this time. So you could send them something and it could be like an amazing play, but if they don't feel like they can do anything with it, they're not going to do it. Right? There's like that's like the one thing you have to just like accept is just being rejected.
Yeah.
So like when I first started, I was just getting no's all the time. And then after like a year of getting no's, I was just like, all right, yeah, I'm going to take a break. And I took a break. I started writing again recently, and then I'm getting a couple of opportunities to get my work seen. So, like, it all kind of came full circle. But, yeah, like, for any art, dude, like, everyone that hasn't found a lot of success in something they're really passionate about, keep going. Don't let bad days overweigh your love for what you do, okay? Very important for anyone watching right now.
Yeah, that's the thing with art. You're gonna see a lot of no's. You're going to see a lot of no's. And I think that's, like, one of the newer things that I'm working on is... because at first you start off and you're like, oh, I need to work on my talent of being good and being good at this thing and standing out, you know. And by all means, I think that's always kind of a part of the process. But you hit a certain point, which I think we're both at it right now, where it's like you have to look at yourself as like a product almost.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's not just about how good you are; it's about like what little crevice of this industry, of whatever company in this industry, could you fit in and benefit in? Like, you know, like, okay, cool, you sent them a great play, talent-wise. That play is fucking sick. But they're like, it just doesn't fit what we're doing here.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, you know, that there's negatives and positives to that. Because, like, positives, it's like, okay, because you get said no to a bunch, you start to feel like you suck. But then you come to terms with the idea of being a product, and you're like, okay, I don't suck. I'm just not what they're looking for right now. It keeps your head above water. But then it's like, you know, there's a daunting fact to it. You're like, oh no. I mean, what like, who is looking for me? Like, where do I got to go? Do I got to move out of the state? Do I got to find another place that is looking more for me? Like, what do I got to do? You know?
Yeah, it's like you always second guess yourself with this too, but it's just you're the one that's living your life and trying to do your dreams, so you got to do it your way. You got to trust yourself. That too.
You got to stay true to yourself.
Yeah, you got to trust yourself too, in a way where it's like, even when like you get heard no a bunch, like you got to trust yourself that you're gonna get that yes. Like it's gonna happen.
It will happen.
Yeah.
It will happen. Like I've definitely pressed through on things that eventually I've gotten a yes from somebody somewhere. Now, what would you say? Now, I already know the answers, but just for the viewers, would you say compromise who you are and the art that you're producing to fit in with a certain company and what they're looking for, or just stay true to yourself and keep pushing your art?
So it depends, because I have a couple of things I'm pretty emotionally attached to writing-wise where I wouldn't want changes.
Yeah.
But there's some stuff that I've written, and if someone wants to do it, I'm kind of just like, have fun. Just do it. Do your thing. Don't make it bad.
Because that's the thing. It's like when you do kind of sign up for that, I'm being authentic me and whatever I think is dope, whatever I think is good, whatever I think is entertaining. Like, your heart's in it, so it will come out good.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, just rule of thumb in life. If you want to do it, you'll find a way to make it happen, and you'll find a way to make it good. If you don't, you'll find a way to just do something else and not do it.
And I guess one more thing too, it's just like, instead of like, definitely have inspirations and look up to people, but don't try to be like them. Try to become your own favorite person in the field that you're in.
Yeah.
So like try to become your own favorite comedian or your own favorite musician or your own favorite writer. That's like the first step. You got to really like your stuff too.
Yeah.
Because like once you put yourself out there, your name's on it. Like there's nothing you can really do to reel back time,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Once it's out there, it's out there.
Oh yeah, there's nothing you can do. But that's the fun thing about playwriting too, where it's not really out there until it's published. Once it's published, I can't touch it. But before it's published, it can do all these productions, and I can keep editing it for as long as I want.
Yeah.
But yeah, but the same thing like with having doing a comedy show, and like your name along with your picture is on the front.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're gonna associate your name with your face when they see you. So you want to make sure that the performance that you give is gonna make sure that they remember you for good things.
Yeah. 100%, dude. Dude, thank you for coming.
Man.
Dude, we did it.
Always a pleasure, dude.
Guys, Chris Gacinski, tell them where they could find you. Got anything coming up?
Yeah, so at the moment with my band Sunflower Shotgun, we are working on releasing an album. To be determined. We have all the songs. We're working on a few more things, and we're going to start recording near the end of the year. So hopefully early next year, we have some stuff for you guys to listen to. Play-wise, you can find me on the New Play Exchange. If you want to hit me up on Instagram at PsyDuckChris, like the Pokemon, PSYDUCK Chris. That's also pretty much all my social media. So you could just use that. Find me, hit me up. Questions, you want to talk, I'm all here. I'm here for it.
Guys, check them out. And like me, as always, Trav_Grant on Instagram. Real quick, if you guys aren't doing anything, I know Halloween falls on a Tuesday. It kind of sucks. But if you are around and you don't care if it's a weekday, you want to go out and hang out and do something, I will be at Brad Barrier Brewery at 7:30. I'm doing a set. And I will also be doing the set as Jeffrey Dahmer. See, that's why I dyed my hair. It's Jeffrey Dahmer. Some people said it's because I'm gay, but I said no. I said it's Jeffrey Dahmer. Guys, check me out. Trav_Grant. Check our man Chris out. Peace out.
Peace.